Have you ever felt ashamed of a habit you can't break, one that controls you in secret? Ravi was stuck in a relentless cycle of porn addiction, drowning in guilt and helplessness. One day, an encounter with a Zen monk revealed a profound truth that shattered his chains. What did the monk teach him? Stick with this story, because what Ravi discovered might just change your life too. Once upon a time, in a quiet village nestled between the hills, lived a man named Ravi. He was an ordinary man in many ways. He had a job in the city, a small home, and a few close friends. But Ravi harbored a secret, one that weighed heavily on his soul. He was addicted to pornography. Each night, when the world outside was fast asleep, Ravi found himself trapped in the cycle of indulgence. He hated it, but at the same time, he couldn't seem to break free. The shame and guilt gnawed at him constantly. During the day, he would put on a mask of normalcy, but as soon as the darkness fell, he returned to his secret vice. One evening, feeling particularly low, Ravi went for a walk to clear his mind. His feet carried him to a temple at the edge of the village, a peaceful place where the scent of incense mingled with the rustling of trees. The temple was home to an elderly Zen monk known as Master Hoshin, a man of few words but infinite wisdom. Ravi had heard stories of the monk's teachings, and something stirred inside him. He entered the temple, unsure of what he was seeking. Master Hoshin was sitting in his usual spot under a Bodhi tree, his eyes closed in meditation. Ravi hesitated for a moment before speaking. "Master Hoshin, I need your help. I am lost," Ravi said, his voice breaking. "I am addicted to something that I cannot control. I try to stop, but I fail again and again. It consumes me." Master Hoshin opened his eyes slowly, regarding Ravi with a calm and knowing gaze. "Addiction, like a fire, consumes its fuel. But when there is no more fuel, the fire will die," the monk said softly. Ravi's brow furrowed. "But how do I stop feeding the fire?" Master Hoshin motioned for Ravi to sit beside him. "The path to liberation is not in fighting the fire, but in understanding its nature." Ravi sat down, eager to learn. "Tell me, what do you feel when you indulge in this addiction?" Master Hoshin asked. Ravi paused, reflecting. "At first, it's a sense of relief, a fleeting moment of pleasure. But soon after, there is emptiness, shame, and regret." Master Hoshin nodded, as if he had expected this answer. "The pleasure you seek is like the light of a fleeting star, bright at first, but it fades quickly, leaving only darkness. What you truly seek, Ravi, is not the fleeting pleasure, but peace and contentment. The addiction arises from the desire to escape something inside you that feels incomplete." Ravi's eyes widened. "But I don't know how to fill that emptiness. It feels like something is missing, and the addiction is the only way to quiet that feeling." Master Hoshin smiled gently. "You are not alone in this. Every person, at some point in their life, faces a deep emptiness. The challenge is not to escape it, but to confront it. Only then can you begin to heal." He then stood and walked to a small stream nearby. "Let me show you something." Ravi followed the monk to the water's edge. Master Hoshin cupped his hands and filled them with water, then let the water slip through his fingers. This stream has been flowing for centuries. It does not try to hold the water, nor does it seek to escape it. It simply lets the water come and go. It knows its nature, and so should you. Ravi watched intently, trying to understand. "What does this mean for me?" he asked. "The addiction you feel is like the water," the monk said. "It is flowing through your life, but you try to grasp it, hold it, control it. This only creates suffering. Let go of the need to control your desire. Acknowledge it, accept it, and let it pass, like the water flowing downstream." Ravi took a deep breath, his mind swirling with the monk's words. "But I've tried to let go. It's not that easy." Master Hoshin turned to him, his expression kind yet firm. "Indeed, it is not easy, but nothing of value is easy to attain. It takes practice, patience, and self-compassion. You must start by observing your desire without judgment. When the urge arises, do not fight it. Simply acknowledge it, feel it fully. Then watch as it fades. Like the water in my hands, it will slip away if you let it." Ravi was silent for a moment, contemplating the monk's teachings. I think I understand. It's not about suppressing the desire, but about understanding it and letting it flow through me without letting it control me. Master Hoshin nodded. Exactly. And remember, it is not the desire itself that causes suffering, but your attachment to it. When you learn to observe without attachment, the fire will no longer consume you. The following days were difficult for Ravi. He tried the monk's teachings, sitting quietly when the urges arose, observing the thoughts and feelings without judgment. At times, the temptation was overwhelming, but he would take a deep breath, acknowledge the desire, and let it pass. Slowly, he began to notice changes. The guilt, which had once been suffocating, lessened. The emptiness, which had driven him to seek comfort in his addiction, began to fill with something else: peace, acceptance, and self-awareness. Over time, Ravi's addiction lost its grip on him. He no longer needed to feed the fire, for he had learned to let go of the fuel. His life became more centered, more peaceful. He found joy in the simple things: a conversation with a friend, the sound of rain against his window, the warmth of the sun on his face. One day, Ravi returned to the temple to visit Master Hoshin. The monk greeted him with a serene smile. "You have come far," Master Hoshin said. Ravi nodded, his heart full of gratitude. "Thank you, Master. Your teachings have freed me from my addiction. I now understand that true peace comes not from escaping my desires, but from understanding them and letting them pass." Master Hoshin smiled, his eyes filled with wisdom. "You have learned well, Ravi. Remember, the journey does not end here. Continue to practice, and you will find that peace is always within you." As Ravi left the temple, he felt a sense of liberation that he had never known before. He no longer needed to chase fleeting pleasures or fill the emptiness with false comfort. Instead, he walked in peace, knowing that the path to freedom was not about avoiding desire, but about embracing it with awareness and compassion. And so, Ravi's journey continued, not one of escape, but one of acceptance, understanding, and liberation. If Ravi could transform his life by following this one timeless principle, what's stopping you? The power to change is already within you. It's time to take the first step. Share this story with someone who needs to hear it, and remember, the path to freedom begins with understanding, not resistance.